form of fluoride that seems to have less toxic ingredients, as they discussed earlier.
In regards to dentists and that, do we have an endocrinologist? Because I think the issue here is the effects it has on the body at the toxicity level. So yes, in terms of cavities, but if it takes care of your cavities and keeps your teeth, helps with tooth decay, but it affects your organs, to me, what's the lesser of two evils? So I'm more interested in getting more information on the toxicity that it has on your body as you're growing up. We don't know. So in terms of more information, I'm inundated with all this information, and I want to go through this, but that's one area that I'd like more research on, more information.
We get these such respectable pillars of our community talking to us about fluoride for teeth. That's not the issue. What is being brought forward is that we're ingesting it and it's accumulative. So we need to hear over all these years, just like everything else. At one time, lead was pretty cool. Now, no lead. And it's not just that we were ingesting lead, it's that our skin, our bodies, we're absorbing it in other ways. And that's a concern for me too. So if you're sitting in a bathtub in fluoridated water, what's happening? And what kind of fluoride is this anyway? Is this really the smokestack stuff? Is this a pharmaceutical grade?
Is first of all the discussion that the fluorohydrofluoric fuchsilic acid, am I saying that right? Is that the same type of material that comes from scrubbers at factories? And this may not be directly on point, but I've heard this a number of times, and I'm looking for some clarity on that.
So the question is on the source.
Yes.
I think in the interest, you know what, we can, if the commissioners are okay, I don't mind us proceeding with the questions of either administration or the delegates, and I think it'll move it along quicker. So, is that directed to administration to start? Sure. All right, good.
I think it's a great idea to make them that.
You guys want to
Through you, Mr. Chair. Yes, the primary source of HFS is through the phosphate fertilizer industry, predominantly out of the U.S.
The research that I've done, I can see, yes, fluoride is good for teeth. Obviously, we have topical products that are available that we use for our teeth. But I do understand that there is a concern that's being raised, and we need to hear more of those peer-reviewed studies that say what happens when those accumulative effects of fluoride are. So I don't know if it's, and I'm saying that in good faith. We're asking for all this information and hoping that respectfully we will be able to use this information to make a decision that the City of Windsor wants to weigh as much as we do. Because I thought that was, and I would love to have more information. I know it needs more resources, but maybe you can tell me, Dr. Hyman, what do we know? What kind of information does the health unit have? Some comprehensive data. It's not just, it's the union water system. It's not just a municipality. It's a water system that has not used fluoride ever. And the reason why is because a major customer manufactures baby food. So I would have thought there would have been an anomaly long before now. Whoa, what's up with all these people? Like, I would have thought that would have been recognizable before now. And now that it's becoming an issue, like, are we saying, is it just in Leamington? There are other water systems, there are other municipalities. And I looked some of this stuff up. You know, Canadian Forces bases don't use fluoridation. Does that, somewhere, is there a study that we can go to, and what do we actually have locally besides the testimony of that one doctor?
Thank you. I have many concerns about fluoride and what it does. But
my fellow councilors have talked about teeth and how they have perfect teeth and everything. I live in a house of 11 people. I have a mouthful of cavities. I bet my brother over there has maybe 2 or 3, you know. I had straight teeth. He had teeth that were crooked. I think we're a pretty good study living in this community, and we're all lifers here, so living in this community, to the pros and cons. But aside from that, I have some other health issues that are related to hormones and thyroid and things like that. And I want to know how long does fluoride or any of these chemicals that are in our water stay in our system? Like, are we lifers for those as well? I have another question for Dr. Hyman. Dr. Hyman, why wouldn't we use precautionary principles when regulating water fluoridation as opposed to risk management? There are so many conflicting issues here. Why would we not take the precautionary? We have done that with, we're even doing it today with car seats. Car seats now have expiry dates on them because there may be something that comes along that's better. We're dealing with science that goes back to the 50s and 60s. Why are we not taking the precautionary road and doing this research that needs to be done, and then making the decision, as opposed to using old science?
Okay. Well, but research continues to be done, and I would be pleased to, and really it's my responsibility to provide the information specifically to the questions which have been asked and the issues with regards to safety. And certainly, if that is not able to be done, then it is absolutely appropriate with regards to the precautionary principle. But from the information that I have looked at, is that we are looking at a public health measure which in fact is and continues to be safe. But again, that's my requirement, to be able to provide you with the studies, with the information which you asked for.
I guess my question is, have safety studies been done to confirm the safety of this product as it relates to standard 60? There seemed to be a gap there as I heard it, and I'm just looking for clarification, so I'm not sure who can answer the question.
Through you, Mr. Chair, it has been raised that NSF, or the National Sanitation Foundation, allegedly has not carried out tox studies. While there have been tox reviews, specifically tox studies, and they, we're speaking to HFS in particular. It would appear that they have not carried out those.
And it's a matter of choice. As we have rights and freedoms, and as a matter of choice, and knowing that there are several things questionable about this product and how it's placed in our water and how its effects. And there are, again, several unknowns. Why would we not have that choice? If we've not had that choice since the 60s to make that decision. Been on again, off again, but we've never been given that choice.
The matter of choice is something that none of us can answer, because that is in fact a council issue with regards to choice. Absolutely, it's my responsibility to provide you with the information to make an informed choice, but it is not. I have no authority to dictate whether or not communities should or should not be fluoridated.
I'm moving that we support the recent Utilities Commission recommendation that fluoridation be ceased, that we stop.
I'll move the recommendation that says to Council Rise Utilities to cease to fluoridate drinking water supplied to the Town of Tecumseh. So I'm moving that.
That's what I just moved.
Yeah, she just moved. Okay, I'll support.
This report isn't timely to what has been happening in the city. We had some comprehensive information that has been provided, public meetings, and more information that has been brought forward. And I think that we should concur with what's with what's happening. People are looking for more relevant and comprehensive information with regards to ingestion of fluoride, and this makes it seem like we're in a time warp, that we're not following along with that information, this recommendation. This was prepared or done long before that, and as of February 29th, that is very current, that recommendation is being brought forward now, that the city does cease fluoridation. And so I think that being a customer, along with LaSalle, to the city, that we're in a position to say that if you want to call it a moratorium, it's ceasing it until you have more information on this product. Because yes, it was confirmed that it is the smokestack grade that's just been relabeled, and they're looking into more information from the Safe Drinking Water Act. So I would like to have that information before I actually tell them, yes, we want you to go ahead and keep giving us fluoride. When I do tell them that, I want to be saying that at a certain comfort level that we've kept up with the information that has been brought to bear in the area from the supplier of our drinking water that's just receiving this information as well. The research that is being asked for and is now being compiled, to my understanding, and being studied, is ingestion. It's not about fluoride on teeth. It's ingestion. It's bioaccumulation. And we're learning more about that now. So I think that's what makes it irrelevant for us to say that until we know more. We do trust that the recommendation that is being deliberated right now at the City of Windsor is to cease fluoridation, and that we support that action.
That was discussion as to what the element was that they were putting in the water, and the Deputy Mayor alluded to the fact that it is the product of phosphate fertilizer industry, and that it is just relabeled. It is not retreated. It's not treated. It's not added, and they don't add an agent to it. And there is information that has not come, safety information regarding that product, and what it does to the endocrine, what it does to the rest of our body. And it is not a natural. It is not the natural occurring fluoride that is alluded to in many of the reports that we've received.
Right. Just on today's article, when to start, are they not still investigating whether they can get sued for this and they can decision to, I sort of agree with the deputy mayor to proceed just to get a little more information.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of comments on this issue. The one that really sticks out for me is what the province and ministry that came to us that said as of January 2013, municipalities may decide in terms of beyond the hook for liability. All of a sudden that changes the landscape. Also, 3 other county municipalities don't have fluoridation in their water. What my question is, before I make another comment, is to administration is, our water department recommendation is contrary to what the WUC is, and they're the ones that are supplying us with water. Has there been any communication with their administration?
Yes, there has been communication during the development of my report, and the last that I became aware of the Windsor Utilities was their report, but I had not had knowledge of the minutes of the meeting where the decision was made. I just had their administrative report, and their administrative report in my reading did not say to stop fluoridation.
Thank you. And again, a couple other points in terms of the byproduct, that goes again in terms of the ingestation. Is a byproduct from the fertilizer production classifies as a hazardous waste, and again, that's going in our bodies. There are no safety studies on the product, and also it deals with, I like proof in terms of the artificial water fluoridation. It's not protective of formula-fed infants. So there's a lot of these issues that if you want fluoride in terms of tooth decay or whatever, you can use toothpaste, but when you have to drink that water with the fluoride, you don't have that choice. And so to err on the side of caution, it doesn't hurt ceasing fluoridization. And again, you leave it up to WUC, the Windsor Utilities Commission. They're the ones that are supplying us with water, and they're recommending to the city of Windsor. So I support that we cease and that recommendation goes to them.
Yeah, not to belabor this, but at this point in making this decision now as a council, it's to acknowledge that the scientific data is incomplete. And what we do know is that fluoride is good for teeth. We don't understand enough about ingesting it. There are studies happening right now, and that data will come in, and I'm sure that will make everyone much more confident, and we'll find out other things, I'm sure. But an interesting comment that was made with regards to dental decay, these studies with children and going to anesthesiologists. It's so funny, depending on the context of the argument, that's coming up now under fluoride, but that's a very, very relevant topic with regards to using glucose and relying on glucose in these types of sweeteners for children's drinks and food, and as well as fructose, as well as juices. But that was so huge that Pepsi even did a test market of throwback to actual real sugar for a while to test market that. See, there's so much of that. If there's holes like that, it's not enough for me to say I'm going to dig in my heels and go against what's already the wave now that's happening with the recommendation with our water provider. I'm not going to go against them. I support that. I think we should cease fluoridation, and until more studies come back, if we ever entertain having fluoride back, it has to be pharmaceutical grade. It shouldn't be this. I thought that was extremism, but when you go and read, and you have to make sure you go to the right sources, you have to cross-check them, but sure enough, they just relabel this stuff, which I find really questionable. And if it's okay to do that, then I would like to see some documented evidence. And I don't want to see any more, and it's not that I don't want to see any more, but I am responsive. And when people say, here's another petition, we want our, that's an emotional argument. I don't want a petition. I want a logical argument. And that's what is happening here. We're pitting emotions rather than looking at the scientific evidence, the empirical data that tells us that bioaccumulation of fluoride is minuscule compared to those benefits. We do not, there are not studies right now that exist. They're on it, there are different entities that are on it, but when you look at the places that have refused it, I'm still waiting to get some comprehensive information from our Canadian Forces bases. They got rid of it. There's no fluoride. They don't do it because it makes your bones brittle.
Okay.
Do we recorded vote?
Yes.
It's recorded